animation cancel. Pylai Dai is going to have a fun game, as fun as one can have, playing Lich. Just like, you roll up, you just deny some creeps, that's life. There's only one downside, though, playing Lich in a game like this.
Yes.
Is if you lose, you hate everyone.
Yeah, because you had to play Lich, and you lost. That's a pretty terrible feeling.
You hate your team because you lost. And
I did everything I was supposed to. I gave you Lich armor. I sacrificed creeps.
There's not a whole lot of like game impact.
I played that Lich game to perfection.
Yeah, because you can't really have like your impact is to make life annoying, like marginally more annoying for the enemy team. But that's like about it. And once again, EG, they've done this combo before. They haven't had the most success with it, maybe because they just haven't had a lot of success in general lately. But the Jakiro off lane.
Now, we were talking about how they had a bit of a problem with initiation before. Do you think that this Spirit Breaker makes up for things?
I think it's not just the Spirit Breaker. I think it's a Lone Druid too.
Okay.
Because initiation doesn't just come in the form of walking up and stunning somebody. It also comes in the form of like being able to have heroes that can stand up front and fight. Like you initiate in, you have things like Savage Roar. So if somebody gets on top of you, you can reset the fight. Like things that like that'll help a lot.
So in a way, you're forcing initiation on yourself. That's
exactly.
Kind of like a way. Allowing your allies to be able to go for the counter. Speaking of counters, we're having a dual lane mid, trying to keep that Ember Spirit down. Our TZ's having to deal with a duel at bottom lane as well. So we're going to have the Ember Spirit Lich versus the Bane Mirana. So potential setups for Arrow, though unlikely with two heroes there. And then the Clockwork is going to try and put as much pressure on the Lone Druid as possible. Won't be able to get a kill, though, with just Cogs. He's just trying to play the harassment game for now, which leaves EG with the advantage. Oh, no, an arrow straight up. Gets a bit of chip damage here. Excalibur is going to drop quite low here and forced to use his Fairy Fire, but should be fine. Still, good enough damage, as Excalibur is going to have to start thinking about using Pilot Eye South.
Sorry, I just thought about the ridiculousness like of Lich, because he hits level 2, gets the Frost Armor out before they were able to hit level 2 themselves, despite the fact that they're absolutely dominating this lane right now here in mid. Like, the Ember right now has 1 CS. He just popped his Flame Guard to get us a single CS. But as a result, Fnatic, they really need this bottom lane to go well. Like, that has to be the salvaging lane for them right now, because top not doing much better. We have seen this position from EG before, though, winning 3 lanes or looking very good in 3 lanes and not being able to close out.
I was about to say, how can Fnatic really win this lane against the Lone Druid? 2 melee heroes against the Lone Druid like this, it doesn't seem possible to me for them to really be able to win it.
Beastmaster's pretty nice. He's underrated.
Yeah.
He attacks like really high damage. The boars are really nice too. It's hard to gank him in a game like this because of the Hawk. I don't know if it's a lane that he's going to dominate, but he's going to do just fine in it. But the Lone Druid will catch up.
Pretty good CS, right?
Yeah, and for Fnatic right now, normally the thing with Lich lineups is you passively win the lanes, because for the most part you can just like deal with it. But I think teams are getting better at dealing with it, Cap. We saw in the newbie series that they just straight up dual laned against it, and they're doing that right now. Just pick 2 really strong laners. I think last time it was like Disruptor plus DP. This time it's Mirana and Bane.
Yeah, heroes that are able to match, are able to spam out some really strong laning phase spells. Get that harassment in. Especially in that early level before the Lich Armor is applicable.
Yeah, and RTZ sending his bear back, probably to get more regen.
It's one of the great things about the safe lane Lone Druid, right? You never need the courier.
Yeah.
You've got your own animal companion to ferry you whatever regen you're going to be needing. Top lane seems to be going all right for our Jakiro, 16-9 against Eternal Envy, who is 6-1 right now.
He's had a pretty rough time of it. And the mid game, this time around, I felt like what Fnatic lacked in the previous game against Newbie, aside from like most things, is this time around they have heroes that can actually create space for each other. Like in the past, what did they have? They had Venomancer.
They had Venomancer, AM, and Darkseer, I believe. They were like 2 passive farmers, and then Veno to kind of hold it all together.
Yeah, but this time around, like their lineup looks a lot more balanced. They have different ways to fight. This Beastmaster, once he gets to 6, can create space on the map. Ember Spirit is very good at that as well. And he is starting to catch up in CS as virtue of just having this Lich in his lane. But right now, I don't think EG minds too much, and they're going to make the go on mid. I think this is a pretty good move for them to make with the haste.
They're actually going to go for the charge on the Ember Spirit, but most of the damage is going to go on to Pine. That will be our first blood. With the arrow landing on Excalibur, couldn't dodge it, and he's going to die as well underneath the tier 1 tower. 2-0 for EG. All of a sudden, they are hammering this laning phase. They're already doing pretty well in CS, but now they are truly dominant in all 3 lanes.
And I thought for a second that was going to be a little bit greedy, but they do manage to get the 2 for none. As now the charge goes up on top to Envy, who's starting to get low, has that level of growth.
He desperately needs this CS just to be able to get some recovery here, as he's going to get dove up. Only has 1 Death Pulse to be able to throw down. Does have the Ghost Shroud. He's going to be forced to TP back. Pylai Dai will take his place in lane. Don't think he'll be able to get that Spirit Breaker kill so easily.
And that's going to be pretty annoying for Envy, having to TP, then run all the way back. It's going to cost them quite a bit. That lane just gets a little bit more rough, and right now they really need DJ to have a little bit more impact.
Yeah, all he's been doing is kind of like cogsing up Arteezy in the bottom lane, but as we said, he has his own way to be able to ferry regen admin.
Yeah.
What do they need an admin for?
So the benefit of having this clockwork in this game is that the team fights are going to get better for them. And he is pretty nice against the Lone Druid, because you need gap closers against that hero.
Yeah.
And more than gap closers, you need a way to stay on top of him. And Cogs is very good about that.
Sure.
But the reason why he's not having a lot of success in this laning phase is that there's no easy lane for him to just run to and get a kill on. Maybe the top lane, but Shakiro's very tanky.
Yeah, Shakiro's a hard kill, and you're ganking for a Necrophos. It's not like he really helps you out that much until he has like level 6.
And if you think about that further, it's the connecting lane that matters as well. Because if, for example, let's say I go gank top, it's not easy for me then to just run bottom from there. And if you go mid, who are you going to kill? You're trying to go on a Bane Mirana.
So do you think that's part of the reason that we saw, like we were talking about how we've seen this progression, right? From Starlighter to PGL to now here at this major at ESL. We had the 4 positions be really important at Starlighter. Everyone was running a bunch of 4 positions. And then we've started seeing more and more dual lane mids. And as a result, these 4 positions have not had the same opportunity as they had previously in this laning phase. Now it looks like DJ is going to be able to get a successful gank on the Universe. He's staying on top of him with the battery assault. Isn't going to be juked out. Gets the first kill on the board for Fnatic.
Yeah, and that was really nice. This is probably the lane that he's going to have the most success in, killing. And that was actually pretty fast. I think Universe died really quickly. Yeah. I guess he was pushed up really high. Yeah, and he doesn't have a ward up there.
I think that was level 2 battery assault as well.
Yeah.
Big
and now
increase in damage.
It's the movement for the clockwork that goes next. And that was a huge kill. As I was talking about how his laning phase is a little bit awkward, now he's level 4. Getting a kill on the Jakiro, really helping him out. Plus he was soaking a lot of XP. So now he can match Fear a little bit better.
Ooh, and I think he spotted that one too, because he already had the ward laid down from the Lich in his rotation, so...
Yeah, that one kill is going to help out DJ's game a lot, as he's going to pull this next wave.
And they almost have level 6 on Eternal Envy too, so that just adds more potential to be able to bring down Universe, even with the Spirit Breaker here. So Fnatic really got to make that execution work here at this top lane, as they are unlikely to be able to find kills anywhere else right now.
Yeah, that's why what we had just brought up, it's not easy for him to just move around like that. Like, you can go top, it's probably your most likely kill, but it's not easy for him to make that forward rotation play that we see so often, for him to just straight up go mid, because there's no real pressure to be had there. But I think he's doing the correct thing. Instead of freaking out and saying, like, what do I need to do next? He's just pulling the creep wave, being a little bit more annoying in the safe lane, because it's better to be doing something like this. And he might even get himself another one.
Crit. Eternal Envy's coming in. He does have the Reaper's Scythe, so if they could bring Crit a little bit lower, they're going to go for the kill, and Reaper's Scythe is not going to be able to finish him off, so no extra death timer there, but they do at least get the kill, evening up the score now 2-2.
Very nice pickup for them, as I think they realized this top lane is probably going to be the most successful. And now, as a result, Sumail going to get gone on mid. Doesn't really want to get out quite yet.
Gonna go for the leap out, but the Remnant is up. Oh, that was a bit of a misplay. Excalibur threw a Remnant right on top of himself. Then threw the second one a little bit farther, but it was a bit too late to be able to catch Mirana, who slides himself away. Now they're gonna get the tri-lane here at top lane, see if they can kill Eternal Envy. With the big burst of damage from the Brain Sap, they're gonna bring Eternal Envy low, but of course he's always got the Ghost Shroud, and they just do not have the big magical damage to bring him down towards the end.
Lane's gonna be really annoying for him, but kill potential's another story as Excalibur.
Smoke up there. Trying to go for the kill on the Mirana again. He does have the regen. Excalibur is not going to pop it, though, for the mana.
Yeah.
Feels
and
like he can't pursue.
he really wants Sumail to just blow the leap so that he can immediately chase right after with the double spirit. Probably missed out on his kill opportunity earlier, though.
Yeah.
I think he would have had enough. I think Sumail had like 270, and his range ops was on cooldown. With like that extra second of Flame Guard. But can't really think about it that way, as the ward is going to spot crit coming in. As is that giant golden Roshan, if you can see that on the map. I don't know what makes it more obvious that...
He is a little glowing gold.
It's because somebody has a 2000 compendium.
Oh.
Comforting boon of regeneration.
Isn't that pretty much all of EG?
It's pretty much all of everyone.
Pro players love their cosmetics, man. Much to Valve's pleasure.
Oh, mid. He didn't want to get slap arrow combo.
Yeah. Lich really can't do anything about that. That's one of the big downsides of Lich,
What?
right? No disable and no saving mechanisms.
He can tank it, though. He can,
if he was close enough.
he can Celine Dion, My Heart Will Always Go On. Just like run in front of it.
The slow motion dive.
It's like there are certain things that you associate with certain players, and like with Pylai die,
I mean,
Like-
it's in his name.
yeah, I think he's gonna die for the better of his team. That's like the consistent factor. It's never just pointless deaths, though.
Yeah.
He is really good about that. But in mid, like somebody in this position, somebody has to like be mid, and it's gonna be Pylai die. And if they gank him, that's whatever.
Yeah.
Value death.
He's got to draw the creep wave off.
Yes.
That's very dangerous.
Somebody's got to do
Look
it.
at
though.
Fear. He's just running forward. All right, he's got the Nightmare. They got to kick the Nightmare off. Good job, Pi. Good job. Managed to allow the arrow to be dodged.
They're gonna get a
Fear's
return.
going to be in big trouble. They do have the Brain Sap plus the Macro Pi. This is not a good position for DJ to be in. They may get the kill on Fear, but it's going to cost Fnatic quite a bit. Ohio comes in for the side, goes for the Primal Roar onto the Mirana, thinking they have the burst damage to be able to bring him down, and they are right. With the Chain Frost and the chains, it is just enough. Crit's going to be able to get himself out, though, with a charge. Really nice turnaround there from Fnatic, bringing Ohio over.
And that's what I'm talking about. Pylai die. He's willing to break the sleep.
Oh, get it!
And
Arteezy just books it from the safe lane
he
here
wants
to
it.
mid.
He wants to roar. Try to get it. Nope.
Oh, the chains to keep the bear out of range.
The bear's starting to get low though,
Yeah, kill that bear.
and this would be a nice chunk of change for them, but unable to do so as DJ doesn't have the move speed. Still nice deny and a very good rotation overall by Fnatic. I was a really big fan of that. And this is why their lineup for me is a little bit better, because in the other game they played, they could not make that rotation. Like, who's supposed to do that?
They would have said, Darkseer, keep shoving out the lane. That's pretty much it. Like,
But this
there's
time
nobody
around,
to defend.
their lineup is a lot more balanced, and at bottom crit, trying to get his level 6 for free, but there are no free things in this life as DJ going to make his rotation on there.
Managed to get the battery assault takes to finish him off. Another kill for Fnatic. Now it's going to come at the price of a tower. It seems like most of these pickoffs are. We've already taken the mid tower, even if it was denied. Safe lane tower is going to go down for free. TZ will pick up those last hits.
It's the support value death so far. It's the name of the game. Both supports willing to die just to get a little bit more info as Fear. He sees Envy. He's charged up as well.
5 heroes top.
Yeah, they really want this.
Do you think that Fnatic, I mean, they can't possibly TP all these heroes up.
No, it's not easy, and that's why Envy has got to be careful. They're starting to sandwich him.
The TP out, Eternal Envy's not going to make it out in time. He's going to be nailed by that arrow, brought down underneath the trees.
Oh, this is a huge problem. They're immediately going to transition this into a tower push, and nobody's ready for the counterplay, and so EG is going to grab a tier 2 tower and the position 1 on the side of Fnatic for free.
Do you think there was something that Fnatic could have read into that a little bit better?
It's complicated. You don't expect to see 5 people at 12 minutes.
Yeah, and their mid lane was pushed in, so it's not like there was a whole lot of information there.
And maybe that was the info play that you have to make. Like, somebody just runs mid and goes for, like, a suicide.
Yeah, just like really quickly shoves out the wave and just kind of like aggressively positions himself.
Yeah.
If no one goes on you, that means they got to be top.
As, like, silly as this sounds, like, maybe Pi just, like, runs down mid and starts nuking stuff, and if nobody goes to kill him,
Just goes and right clicks the tier 1 tower. What up?
Pi's like, guys, nobody's killing me.
I have not died in the last 2 minutes. Something is amiss.
And that's the thing is, sometimes somebody has to tank those kinds of deaths, but you don't want it to be your your position 1. And if it was any other sort of combination of heroes, then maybe they don't get that kill. But because it is a Spirit Breaker and he provided vision the entire way through, like Envy played that pretty reasonably well. He tried to TP out. He didn't expect the charge to come from such a far distance.
Yeah, because honestly, he was in the jungle this whole entire time. It was an invis hero that allowed them to set up for
What's
that charge.
going on right now? Ohio's just sitting Shadow Amuleted up.
Yeah, Ohio was thinking about putting himself in the trees and TPing away, but he decided to stick around. And I bet he regrets that right now because there's no like cutting the creep wave move that we're going to be making here anytime soon for Ohio with this many heroes.
I mean, do you think he really regrets it? I think he's alright with it because now he can do the pop-up surprise.
Yeah. With all of Fnatic coming in. Here we go. The Invis initiation. Here it comes. They've already got the onto Crit. They're going to be able to finish off the 2 supports almost immediately. Reaper's Scythe is going to be able to bring down the Bane. Well, Crit managed to walk away with just a little bit of HP, but Excalibur is going to be able to chase him down with the Remnants. Back over to the cores now of EG. It bounces back onto Sumail. He's dangerously low, but the rest of Fnatic are not really feeling up for the chase. They don't really have the lockdown anymore. But Ohio, he pops back out with his Shadow Blade, goes to the Primal Roar, but the Lone Druid, nice use of the Bear, bringing him back and roaring the rest of Fnatic away in that clutch moment. So Fnatic are not able to pick up a core kill out of that engagement. Still, though, really cool engagement by Fnatic, setting all that up with the Shadow Amulet.
All planned the entire time. The Shadow Blade would have hurt him.
Yeah.
But with the Shadow Amulet, he just stands on there, gives his team a lot of room. They understand what they're walking into. Good fight setup. Downside for them, though, is that their 2 cores are still a little bit lacking. But they do have a lot of team fight and good catch. And that is the benefit of playing this Ember against this Mirana in the early game because chains will always stop bleed. Yeah. So you always have ways to get kills. If they could have gotten another kill on top of that, like that Lone Druid, that would have been a huge one.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was the 4 position, or I guess 5 position maybe in this situation.
It's small sample size, but Fnatic already are playing much cleaner.
Crit, trying to get some vision down. Throws it up in the shrine. Pretty sure Ohio spotted that.
And this is the second time in a row now that they've just placed a ward under vision.
Yeah.
And this is an important ward for them. If you just look at the vision on the map, I think Fnatic are pretty happy about that, which is why EG feel the need to go for these 5-mans. If you don't have a lot of ward vision, you kind of have to just stay stuck together. You can't make guesses like that.
Yeah, and even the 10 seconds that they got information while the ward was dying, it was still enough to know, all right, nobody's TPing into the shrine area. They don't have any heroes that are wrapping around on us.
Yeah.
Take this tier 1 back up.
But their 1 ward is going to spot Excalibur. I think they're going to get a better idea of what's going on. I would like to see a smoke right here. You saw the top lane being shoved out. Somebody's already showing at bottom, and this is a very nice attempt. Depending on who they go for, they're going to see Sumail.
Where to go, though?
They see Sumail mid, but he's not really a play. And
RTZ. Eternal Envy's going to be in trouble. They do have fear with the Fiend's Grip. Nobody's there to save him, so Eternal Envy should be pretty dead, I think, with a Brain Sap. But at the same time, if they get RTZ, it's a big, big kill that's going to be well worth it. Chain Frost bounces around. Don't think they actually got the bear kill, unfortunately, as well. But still, RTZ goes down. I mean, I would be willing to trade RTZ for Eternal Envy any day of the week.
Yeah, I think that's okay. I mean, for Fnatic, the thing is, when you make plays like that, it's awkward for both one positions because if you see your team going on Envy and no one's there to help him, then you sort of know what's going on. So you saw him running away. And for Fnatic, they're like, well, our 1 position got gone on by 2 supports. There's not a whole lot that we can do about that, but at least let's get this return kill.
Now, you've told me a number of times, abandon the safe lane. That was one of your big rules.
Yeah.
Abandon the safe lane. Twice now, Eternal Envy's been caught up there. Like, why? Why is he going top lane? It's a tough lane to be in at this point in the game, right? Everyone loves to invade the enemy's jungle. Why is he the one going up there so often?
I'm not sure.
He's just not a killing hero, maybe? So
he probably thinks he's a little bit tankier than he is with that Force.
With the Ghost Shroud and Force Staff?
Yeah, and
he is one of, like, the premium, like, you go on me, but if you don't kill me, I'm going to turn around on you with TPs and stuff.
And somebody's got to be shoving out lanes and showing. You can't get away in Dota by showing absolutely nothing. But
Radiant's bottom tower.
Our Beastmaster is the other big lane shover right now. As you can see, he's actually banging on the tier 2 right now.
He's probably the most important hero right now for Fnatic because it's easiest for him to shove out the lanes. Yeah. And I like that Synderen in the cast earlier elaborated on that, why it's so important. And why we, as commentators, bring it up, because I'm sure people are tired of hearing about it. But just to elaborate further, if you shove in the wave, it's like you're smoking people out. Because if no one's going to this bottom area right now, and you haven't seen anybody on the side of EG go to push this out, then you know that they are playing on another side of the map. It's like a process of elimination thing, because you can't have wards up everywhere in Dota. It just doesn't exist like that. And once you start to lose towers, you start to lose vision. And that's why shoving out the lanes is very important, because it forces a counter reaction. If I shove out bottom and you don't immediately shove out bottom yourself, A, you're losing some gold on the map, and B, I know you're not in that direct vicinity.
Yeah, if you're farming like the hard camp over there or something, and I as your ally am looking at you and you're like, my tower's being hit, dude. Why aren't you defending that? Why don't you push out the wave? Well, this is exactly why Fnatic are able to shove out waves. Also, no one was really bottom.
It allows you, because when you shove out lanes like this, after Envy shoves out this mid wave, you can go for smoke plays and connect to that bottom area and then immediately nab that tier 2. So Envy showing himself going to top, Fnatic, they're smoked up, and this is how you create opportunities, because now somebody has to go shove out bottom, and this is your opportunity to kill Universe.
The arrow's coming through, and they already have the Force Staff to get Universe out of that cog.
This is
now
going to be
charging through.
charge.
Oh no, with the Ice Path, this is looking terrible for Fnatic. The Primal Round turnaround onto Sumail is going to slow up some of the damage, but it's not going to be enough to save either one of the supports. But maybe Ohio himself can get out. He's trying to get to the trees, but there it is. Diffusive Blade from Sumail will slow him down, get the extra core kill, 8-8. Evil Geniuses not only
go for
tie
Roche.
up the kill score, but they're going to open up a big objective in Roshan.
Oh, I didn't like that cap. Last time they were really patient. They went all the way around into the jungle for RTZ because they saw Sumail's not an easy kill for us. This time around, they go on this Jakiro, very tanky, has that Force Staff on himself. So even if you cogs him, it's not an easy kill.
And they also don't like cogs him towards the team, right? They just set him inside the cogs, which is an easy Force Staff save.
Plus crit, charged through like 4 people.
Yeah.
They killed him before he could get the Chain Frost off.
So in that situation, you wanted them to wrap like in the shrine area and go behind mid?
Yeah, but even that's a little bit scary, because if you run into somebody in that shrine area and they happen to be there as 3, I think they just wanted to get a quick kill and grab a tower, is the idea. But I would have been okay with them making the play all the way down to bottom to kill the Bane, immediately grab that tier 2, get out. But awkward engagement nonetheless.
Moonlight Shadow gonna be popped. This is one of the things. I love Mirana right now. Free smokes all day.
Yes.
Moonlight Shadow is just a free smoke for you to move around the map.
It's really hard to just place sentries everywhere.
Ooh, sleep into a charge. Plus they're gonna have the ultimate of the Fiend's Grip being used on top of the Macro Pyre. Beautiful setup. Careful, Crit. Don't knock him out of the fire.
Yeah. Most important kill right now that they could take on Fnatic, as that Ember Spirit is the hero that's being really slippery right now.
He's trying to finish up that Radiance too. He's got so much unreliable gold stacked up.
Yeah. It's up to him right now, him and the Beastmaster, to shove out the waves to create more space for Envy, so Envy feels more comfortable farming in the jungle right now. And Fear, he's making the wraparound.
Envy. You're going to get caught in the same situation you have before. Nightmare into the Ice Path, into an arrow. DJ, don't even think about it, my friend. Your carry is gone.
Yeah. And you notice he was under the guise of 2 different wards.
Yep.
EG placing those wards very aggressively, and now they've got this bear. It's a little bit low, but I think they want to go for the high ground, and that's why Arteezy's sending it back.
Jeez. A 20-minute high ground push.
They've got Jakiro.
I mean, they're going to get a lot of damage on it.
Yeah. Jakiro low druid.
It's like free pushes, right? Nobody's really going to be able to catch Arteezy very easily.
No, and he's even going for what I think is the Lincolns. Yeah, that's his next item queued up. Gonna stop the roar. It's not easy for them to get on top of him either. Probably get like something... Normally I'd say you get a Force Staff, but because your Jakiro already has one.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. What about the Hurricane Pike?
I think he has to put out a little bit more damage.
Yeah, okay.
Sumail's also... Looks like he's completed that actually. He's got the full Lincolns on him.
Yeah, Sumail's looking real good in damage too, especially since he's got that level 15.
Should probably touch on Fnatic's plays. It's like, okay, so if you're looking at a cap, what do you do differently here?
Stop losing fights.
It's true. Stop dying.
Start killing things. Ohio, gonna be bumped back by the charge here. No Ice Path landing. So, you want me to make the analyst play here?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I'm thinking you're going to want to try and shove out bottom. Make some sort of like smoke wraparound play. I want to get that mid tower real badly.
Yeah.
It's causing me a lot of problems. I feel like they can't make those rapid rotations from
I like
bottom
that you
to
pointed
top.
that out. Because this mid tower is really important right now. It's what allowed EG to defend that first real big fight.
Yep.
When the smoke engagement came. And it also makes it really hard for Fnatic to make upwards plays into that jungle. Because that's why pros place such a premium on that tier 1 tower.
Yeah.
And that's why it's the only one left standing for EG. They prioritize it even over the bottom tier 2.
At the same time, I think you've reached a point where you can't fight EG. I think they've hit their big swing. Mirana's huge. Jakiro is like, he's one of the strongest cores at this point, around that 20-minute marker.
Yeah, I think right now the game is pretty drastically changed. You've got to avoid taking huge scale fights. I think 5-on-5 fights are unreliable. The Bears.
No! Oh, Arteezy, you heartless monster! He just killed his own Spirit Bear just to deny it away from Fnatic.
Is it like patricide?
A patricide? You think he's the son of his of the big bear?
Of course.
I was thinking he was the father.
No. It's like
So it's Papa Bear.
it's like the dad.
Okay.
You're sacrificing so that your son can have a better life.
So wait, does that make Lone Druid the spawn between that bear and some
Yeah, it's like
woman?
it's like a mixed thing. It's cool. I like it.
It's cool. I'm sure Lone Druid's mother would disagree.
No, it's all good. It's family bonding.
Ohio, he's trying to use
They
the
need
Shadow
this
Blade to go
kill.
for the pickups. Oh, this is really cool. Look at this. The Hawk with the Boots of Travel play. I love this play from Fnatic. Very cool. As long as they actually get the kill. What? As long as they actually get the kill. Oh, no. Oh, no.
And he gets caught.
No, it gets so much worse.
No,
No, Ohio's
Fnatic.
dead. Oh, Fnatic, you make me look so foolish now.
That was such a cool play, but the execution, they needed to follow up. They thought it was a free kill. Oh, that was huge.
Well, great Moonlight Shadow usage by Sumail.
They
Guess that's what we'll have to
they
say.
needed that so badly. Is now at bottom Envy, gonna get charged up a crit. Just trying to scare him off. Oh, that's pretty brutal.
8,000 plus gold lead.
Yeah.
For EG. And a pick-off like that would have been worth so much more than just, you know, any support or core pick-off with this kind of lead.
It's map control too.
Yeah.
You shove somebody to go back to that top area. It's quite big, but instead they lose a hero, a core hero for that, and now the charge is going to come in. Pylite die.
DJ's here. No,
This
they're so uncomfortable with fighting outside of the base.
Yeah.
As they should be.
That's a lone Spirit Breaker that's like charging in. Of course, you assume the rest of his team is behind there, but Excalibur is like one of the better ways to deal with this right now. He's going to counter shove out the waves, and that's why he's third in net worth in this game, despite them losing so much real estate, is that he can't continue to make these plays. And EG does have some follow-up issues, but Charge, we talked about Spirit Breaker making up for a lot of the flaws in their lineups. As
Trying to
they
get out
really
of
want
distance
this.
here. Here comes the arrow. Excalibur's going to be able to do a pretty decent job juking all of this as long as he stays out of range of the Purge. Meanwhile, in mid lane, ooh, Fear's going to get gone on here. Turns around, goes to the Fiend's Grip on top of the bear, but a Kong's pushback gets him over the cliff. It may have stopped the Fiend's Grip. Ah, Eternal Envy still going to get the kill. Look at him, he's instantly TPing back. He does not want to be here anymore. He thinks this fight is no good. Fnatic are going to be able to bring down the bear as well.
Charge coming on through, crit from the backline. He knows that Ohio's there.
But
If
he's
there's
getting
an
so
arrow
close to the
follow-up,
tier 3. Is he really going to follow this one up? The arrow. Oh, no, it nails a creep. The creep bodyguard dives in front of the arrow, saving Ohio's life only momentarily, though. Sumail still managed to get the kill. It looks like they may have caught a Lich here on the secret shop area, but Pylite Eye is going to be... Oh, never mind. Can't go for the TP. Dual Scepter is going to be able to stop that one. That's going to be a freebie.
still, any kills matter for them. Even support kills mean... they mean something right now. Like, they killed the Bane and the Spirit Breaker because they are like 10k gold ahead. They can't afford to lose heroes like that, as so far EG have done a very good job of controlling them in. And at the same time, game plan I think becomes pretty straightforward for Fnatic. Sit inside your base, wait for opportunities like that, slowly chip at that lead. I don't know if they have room to make aggressive maneuvers. You most likely just continuously shove out the waves and take what's given to you.
Yeah, you just continually go for the Beastmaster shot blades, right? You're just looking for those kind of pickoffs. You're not looking for the full team fights. Excalibur's going to get chased away from the top lane again.
The good news for Fnatic, though, is I think Excalibur, like we talked about in the pregame, if anyone's going to feel pretty comfortable in this kind of game, it's probably him.
Yeah.
Because he can just continuously shove out these waves. It's not super easy for EG to connect on him either. And this is how you create space for your team. And now Pylite die. We talked about it. Just Frost Blast some creeps, shove it out. You need to gain some more information for your team.
Do you think Layerth giving us this extra insight into Sacrifice makes you feel a little bit better as a Lich player?
Yeah.
You're like, yes, look at all this experience I've denied.
You feel better about playing Lich in a game like this.
If you have
for
a
sure.
hard metric to hold on to.
Yeah. And it's like, it's nice. And this is why Lich is so popular, Cap, is that what other 5-position hero would be level 12 in a game like this that he was never able to leave his base in?
1941. Excellent information. Jackie Mao, thank you very much. That would be the time that Roshan died. And he is correct. Roshan can potentially back up, and EG are doing it right now. They're going to spot it out with a rocket.
Do you fight this?
They're going to have to move real fast and
they
start
gotta
going
start
for
running.
some TPs. Yeah.
And yes, you do have to fight this as if EG get this Aegis, I think it's a very easy high ground for them.
They're going for the wraparound with the Moonlight Shadow. They're going to try and attack that shrine
this is a
area
very nice
and
move.
Catch
There's
Fnatic
no shrine up
by
either.
surprise. If they could catch Excalibur, that'd be huge. But he managed to get out of range.
And I think Fnatic, they want to try to take this fight.
Yeah, now that it's
they're all grouped up.
The initiation has been spoiled by EG. Maybe Fnatic can get their hands on somebody here.
DJ, he's looking for the angle right now. The boars collapse from behind them, and EG's
it's
moved
the
from
damn
all the way
creep
around.
wave. It's in his way the whole entire time. He couldn't get a good, clear hook shot.
Yeah, but still, Fnatic, they survived the initial sort of weird encounter here. Is neither side willing to concede this mid area, and now it's the bear going in first.
All right. Just take the bear, I guess.
Yeah, and Clockwork, I think, has a Orchid, by the way.
Yeah.
He is pretty farmed.
I noticed that when I was like, for a second I was like, wait, Eternal Envy got an Orchid? Why? But no, apparently DJ just farmed the hell out of things.
And I like this move right now. Excalibur saying, guys, nothing's really happening. I can just grab this 2-2 tower bottom for free.
Yeah.
And EG, I'm not sure if they're willing to concede this area and send somebody down there, so they probably have to just give this one up and press forward. And that's exactly what they're doing.
They just have to force something, right?
Yes.
They have to try and get Fnatic while they're in a sort of 4 versus 5 scenario, but they do have that Remnant to be able to jump to. They're going to try and initiate onto the Necrophos. See if they can actually bring him down real quickly. The Chain of Disables, but he managed to get the Ghost Shroud and the heals.
Oh, it's a really nice Chain
now.
Frost.
The Chain Frost's bouncing between the two supports. It's demolishing them, but a big hit from Samael comes in with the nuke, is able to bring down 2. They also got the Necrophos, but he immediately buys back. They are fully set on winning this fight, and it looks like Excalibur might be able to do it for them if he can actually catch some of these heroes. But no, he's been groped up, and he can't be saved. There's too much disable, and he can't do anything about that. Eternal Envy, he may have gotten a kill on Jakiro, sure, but he no longer has the Reaper's Sight to turn against these two, so he will die as well. They bought back for that, and they still lost the fight, meaning Evil Geniuses should be able to get Roshan for themselves.
Yeah, this should be a free Roshan. Still nice moves by both teams as Fnatic. They were so patient, but they just immediately got jumped on. They weren't quite prepared for that. You saw the Beastmaster was making his trek all the way around, and it just took them a little bit too long to kill that Jakiro. Such a tanky core right now, and he represents a huge problem for Fnatic.
Where was
Aegis and Cheese? He went all the way around, I think.
Really?
Yeah, that's why he was able to get that that initiation on the Jakiro. But it's not easy to grab that Jakiro.
Yeah.
He's really tanky.
This is the downside of the Shadowblade, right? It gives you better opportunities for pickoffs, but when it comes to a straight-up team fight, you're not going to have that instant blink primal roar, that instant stun that sometimes you need.
Your positioning is going to be really different, but it does put a lot of pressure on supports, and it's one of the better items at dealing with the split, which is why everybody has a Linken's on the side of EG, but this is going to be a nice kill for them. They need something like this.
So we get to see both the downsides and the upsides in rapid succession here from Ohio's rotation down to bottom lane, setting up his team. Still, though, 12,000 gold lead for Evil Geniuses, and they do have the Aegis in their hands. So expect a high ground push here in the next 2 or 3 minutes.
The downside is, like you said, if there happens to be like 2 sentries mid, and he just walks in and gets blown up, there goes your fight starter.
Yeah.
And you need that roar and his Necrobooks right now. The Beastmaster is the second most farmed hero on your team. Like, he desperately needs to get off his toolkit. EG, invised up. But you're not getting a freebie like this.
Yeah.
Fnatic is doing a good job right now. They're sitting inside their base. They understand, like, guys, everyone's off the map. We can't play super aggressively. The only person that can really afford to do that is our Ember Spirit.
You've told me a couple times you feel like Necrophos is just... We were talking about it like all the way back PGL, maybe even Star Ladder. We were talking about how Necrophos has been countered. He's no longer the big cancerous hero, and I'm feeling that this game. I don't really feel the presence of Eternal Envy's Necrophos here at all. just mainly just finishes off one hero, but other than that, doesn't really do a whole lot for them.
Yeah, there's a lot of different counters to him right now. And I think there's only like one defusal, and it's not even about the magic burst. It's the fact that they're able to just get on top of him, make his life very hard.
Just chain stun him, and he's not able to do a whole lot.
Yeah, Fnatic don't have any saves. They need 4 staffs themselves. They need a lot of these items that they just simply can't afford right now.
So if the Lich didn't win you the laning phase, then he starts looking like a detriment to your lineup.
Yeah. The upside about this hero, though, is he's still always kind of useful. You can Frost Armor these buildings and feel his presence there. And Frost Armor onto these heroes is quite nice, too. It does beef everyone up for free. Like that Beastmaster's got a pretty ridiculous amount of armor as Sumail going to get changed up. They want to try to stop this push. They can't afford to lose this tower.
Diffuser Blade takes down the Flame Guard.
This would be a very big tower because it opens up the shrines. There's an Aegis, though, on Sumail, so they're okay with committing for this.
Yeah, absolutely. Between Sumail and the Bear,
yeah,
they're able to play pretty far forward and get a lot of objective-based damage here.
Bear taking a lot of abuse, but I think they just back up, reset a little bit, take the shrine instead.
So you're not going to worry about using this Aegis to force an objective?
No. I think that the game where they played, was it Death Prophet? They kind of had to.
Yeah.
Even without the DP ult, I think in hindsight, they had to just go for it as Excalibur going to get gone on, but quick jump away and he's fine. But in a game like this, I think they scale a little bit better than they did in that one.
Yeah, you're very happy with Lone Druid and even Mirana going into late game.
Yeah. But in the previous game, it's like you have a Clinks against a Jug who's got Mag and Power. That's not a very good setup for your team, as at bottom, Excalibur does have that Remnant just going to jump away. And now that their lanes are a little bit better, I think this is probably one of EG's better timings to now go for it.
Think they go for bottom, or do they just chip away at that mid tower? Because I feel like in some ways it's just free gold, that mid tower, thanks to the Bear. Rana just seems like a really tough hero for them to initiate on as well.
They probably need to shove up. They've only got... They have 40 seconds. It's do or die kind of time with your Aegis. You're either going to utilize it right now or you reset and push out top.
And Fnatic are just hoping to draw things out a few more seconds. Eternal Envy puts himself forward, is going to be caught by the arrow.
No.
The jump forward from Sumail. He wants to make the commitment here, but they're going to go for Arteezy in the back line, but he's popped his BKB, and they don't have the physical damage to deal with him. So Excalibur goes for the back line, but Arteezy is just dishing out all the damage onto Fnatic. Fortunately, the Shrine is there to be able to save most of them. They get up to full HP and full mana, plus the buyback of the Clockwork, and they are now a full 5. Arrow. Oh, actually snags Excalibur, of course. EG have already given up on this one. Aegis, you can see the little wobbling there up there. Aegis is expiring any second now. 2, 1. So, EG, they're happy with where they're at, as you said, so they're not going to try and force things too hard.
Oh, they're very happy. That arrow initiation, even though it didn't kill Envy, it does start the fight. It gives them an easy way to just get in. And Fnatic had to be on full retreat mode. Fortunately for them, there is a shrine nearby. They were able to heal up. And Fnatic are leaving their base. And EG, I think they know that because of the presence of that bottom ward and no one shoving out.
Yeah, the bottom lane's pushing in. They've got a bottom ward. Where else are Fnatic going to push out? Look for farm, look for kills.
Still, they go for the shrine instead. And does that tell me that they're going to wait for Roshan number 3?
Yeah, probably.
If you want to be absolutely safe, most likely, because you're still getting a lot of ground. Everyone on your team is farming up. There's still a lot of room for growth on your side.
Fear may get caught here. They don't have the Hawk set up preemptively for a TP rotation for the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, and there's some nice vision right now for Fnatic that should spot all of these heroes. As Fear, now gonna deward, understands that they're probably spotted. So Fnatic still trying to shove out lanes.
8 Necro Minions have been killed by the enemy team.
Radiant are scanning.
It's a cool 1,000 gold.
It's a good amount of gold. That's a necro book in itself.
You know, I love the fact that we have access to these stats, because that was the one thing I always asked. I was like, yes, you're playing Furion, you're shoving out, and you're throwing a bunch of treants, but how much gold are you giving to the enemy team as a result? And now we've got those hard numbers.
That's something I don't really want to know. It like ruins the illusion for me.
So yeah, you're that guy who just keeps on throwing.
Yeah, it's a gross number to know.
You just throw bodies out at them over and over again.
You're just hoping your impact is outdoing theirs, as Fnatic now feel a little bit emboldened. They're going to farm up a little bit more. But I think for EG, they're just looking for any engagement that they can take outside the base to just go for it.
Top 2% net worth. And this Mirana Sumail certainly had one hell of a free game.
Him and this lone druid, Arteezy, are so far ahead of the pack right now in terms of gold.
Yeah, good 6K ahead of the Ember Spirit, who is in turn good 4,000 ahead of Necrophos and Beastmaster.
Yeah, and Roshan can spawn in 30 seconds, as we've been alerted to that.
So we just kind of like, as your EG, you keep on pushing into the base because you want to keep Fnatic inside of it, right?
Yeah.
You want to maintain map control, so you're the one who's set up for Roshan.
What you want to do is push in all the waves, then farm out both jungles as often as you can. And you want to farm their jungle, so you're always getting ahead in GPM.
And which in turn, Fnatic have to do weird little push-outs like they're doing right now with bottom lane, maybe farm the enemy jungle or something. Basically the two things that we've seen from Fnatic where they pushed out both top and bottom.
Right now, EG just being patient, waiting for that next Aegis. If you're ahead like this, but you still think there's a decent amount of chance that you can get turned on or the teamfight can go awkward, which it can. Don't count Fnatic out just yet. This Ember Spirit's starting to get really farmed. He puts out a good amount of damage. His hero is good against the cores of EG.
Now, how do you deal with this bottom lane push as a EG without losing map control? Do you send one person? I feel like that leaves you a little bit fractured at the same time.
Yeah, and that's the benefit of having these heroes like this Ember, because he creates opportunities like that. For EG, if you send a support in, it's very likely that Fnatic just have a Boar or a Hawk waiting, you get jumped on, roared, and it's worth it because it resets the pace of the game.
Yeah.
You're not going to push 4v5 unless you're like 90k gold ahead.
So
You're not going
they
to push
do,
4v5.
it looks like they had Sumail go because he seems so hard to kill between Lincoln's BKB. And they actually group the other four up, and they're going to go for a pickoff here. See if they can smoke and catch somebody from Eternal. And looks like they caught him too with the sleep setup. DJ is going to be the one copping the smoke. And it looks like they've also got the Beastmaster here. Crit made sure to track him down. Is just looking to be able to sable him up long enough that they can actually make sure he doesn't TP away. Shadowblade is up. They have the counter vision though. There goes the dust, and Ohio will be the second person caught. Really great rotation by EG. Well set up.
Very nice kills, as now their team is really farmed. And Roshan doesn't look like he's up yet, but they're just barreling down mid right now. With this numbers advantage, they're going to force the buyback. Sumail shooting out the 3 arrows, hoping for a connection. Isn't going to find one, but this mid tower is going to go. Nope, Glyphis popped.
Fnatic not going to try and save their tier 3. See if they make the initiation now. They've got 12. Oh no, an arrow actually slams into the Beastmaster. Now they're not going to jump forward on that. They're just going to take that opportunity. Let's get the mid lane of Rax and bounce. Now the clockwork is back up though. Maybe Fnatic can contest Roshan. And that is their avenue back into the game. A big team fight. Maybe a Roche.
I think you have to take that fight.
Yeah.
It's way too awkward at this point not to.
I mean, you get sieged so easily by EG.
Yeah, the two range heroes right now on EG are just too farmed for you to take a fight when they have Aegis cheese recycled. And that's why they're 5-manned. I'd imagine they go for some kind of play. They're under ward vision though. They're going to get that taken care of as Sumail. Oh, they don't have vision there, though.
They're just going to lay into the Ember Spirit, bring him down real quickly. There's no saves from Fnatic. And now they're going to be able to get the arrow onto Eternal Envy as well. No buybacks between the two of them. So EG,
they're just cleaned up.
This game. Nothing Fnatic can do without buybacks. So they call it game number 1. Evil Geniuses, and it's by a pretty wide margin as well. They have this game under control from the get-go, it seems.
Yeah, there wasn't really a point in this game that I think they felt uncomfortable. And that's an important distinction for most drafts is if you feel like regardless of where the game goes, like what phase of the game you feel like you're pretty comfortable, then it was probably a pretty good draft.
Okay, so what did they do? Did EG do anything better here that they didn't do against Secret in their first series of this tournament?
I think they just played the fights a little bit more together as a group. They handled the split push a lot cleaner, but I think that's more the base of their lineup. But for Fnatic right now, they got to retool a bit better this time around, but not quite there.
Well, at least their drafts are getting progressively better. Let's see if they can give us a game 2. We'll be right back.
life becomes all about